How do we cut up a chapter, a unit, into bite-sized lessons? Let's look at an example of multiplication and division at a higher grade level. In this chapter, the teachers are interested to help students learn the multiplication tables. And the lesson begins with a review of something they might already know. And here, they are given a number chart and the anchor task. I multiply these two numbers. Can I find the product on the chart? And the two sets of numbers. One set are numbers 1 through 10, and the other set are numbers 2, 3, 5, and 10. So the first lesson in the unit is actually a review lesson, allowing students to revisit something they have learned the year before. In the second lesson, they do dividing, where they are asked to put the 18 apples into 2 or 3 equal bags, and the oranges, the 20 oranges, into boxes of 5 and 10. Again, allowing students to revisit the two essential ideas in dividing, that is, sharing and grouping. In designing bite-sized lessons for a chapter or a unit, we might want to begin with a couple of lessons that allow students to revisit essential core ideas from previous grade levels. And then we get to the lessons they're supposed to learn this year. In a bite-sized lesson, the lesson would begin with one problem, the anchor task. Not many tasks, but just a single task that we call the anchor task. In this lesson, the anchor task is to figure out the number of flowers in a certain number of pots and to explain their thinking. In a bite-sized lesson, the emphasis is on one problem, not many. Just like Pólya said, it is better for students to solve one problem in 5 ways than to solve 5 different problems. Also important in designing a series of lessons in a chapter is the use of the spiraling approach. That means the next day's lesson is never a repetition of today's lesson, although the concepts are not different. For example, following the lesson on multiplying 6, the next lesson is dividing by 6, where students are given a problem. A roller coaster with 6 carriages, all of the same size, can seat 24 people. How many people can each carriage seat? This allows students to continue to revisit what they did the day before, but without mere repetition. In the designing of bite-sized lesson for a chapter and a unit, it is important that each lesson focuses on one problem, and each day's lesson is a variant of the previous day's lesson. These are some principles in designing bite-sized lesson in a chapter or a unit.